Good afternoon and welcome to the 4th Annual Women's Storybook Project of Texas Fundraising Luncheon. My name is Joy Diaz. I'm a producer for the radio show called The Texas Standard on KUT, and I'm very happy to be here with you today. Today we celebrate the connection between mothers who are incarcerated and their children. On behalf of our luncheon chairs, Margene Beckham and Mary Ellen Borgelt, I want to welcome you. First, a huge thank you to those of you who are here virtually and to those who decided to gather in small groups. I also want to thank our generous sponsors and Luncheon Committee. We set the recipe for our Tito's strawberry lemonade cocktail earlier via email, and the hope is that we can toast together. So if you haven't seen the recipe, don't worry, it's pinned in the comment section below. And one more thing, we'd love for you to take a selfie if you're by yourself or a socially distanced group photo and share it widely on social media using the hashtag WSP_TX. That's WSP_TX, or the hashtag more than words. We can't wait to see those beautiful photos. I learned about the Women's Storybook Project just a few months ago, and I have to say I fell in love with the mission. First, because during his youth, my father spent some time behind bars. So projects that focus on restoring people who are incarcerated bring me great joy. And also because one of my biggest pleasures in life is reading to my kids every night. The Women's Storybook Project of Texas combines some of my greatest passions. Shortly, you'll hear from Judith Dolnig, the angel who founded the Storybook Project, and you'll also hear from an alumni mother and from her daughter, and you'll hear from a surprise guest. If at any point during the program you have questions, please type them in the chat box on the right. We'll answer those promptly. Today, you'll learn a lot, and hopefully that learning will move you to give. Our goal is to raise $75,000, and we are thrilled to announce that our very generous sponsors will match the first $25,000 dollar for dollar. You know, all through the quarantine and prison lockdown, Storybook volunteers have not stopped helping. They've been writing letters to the mothers and mailing books to their children. Here to tell you more is the founder and president of the board of directors of the Women's Storybook Project of Texas, Judith Dolnig. Judith, what an honor to welcome you today.
Thank you, Joy. Hello, my name is Judith Dolnig. I'm the founder and president of the board of directors of Women's Storybook Project of Texas. Thank you for joining us during this difficult time of COVID-19 and for learning about Women's Storybook Project at our virtual luncheon. And I'd also like to thank our sponsors, Karen and Larry Turner, Austin Cops for Charities, Love Tito's, Ann McEldowney, Dr. Eric Weidman, Family Practice, Mary Walker. Before we start this program, please toast with me to Women's Storybook Project, connecting children with their incarcerated mothers through the joy of literature. I hope you enjoy this short video that was taken prior to COVID-19 about our program that truly is a simple idea with a big impact.
All right, let's start your book. When you're at school and you miss me, your love travels all the way along the string until I feel it tug on my heart. As long as love is in your heart, the string will always be there. And from deep inside, they now could see clearly. No one is ever alone.
Good morning. Exciting, isn't it? Not that it's not always exciting as Storybook gets here.
The children of incarcerated parents are a neglected population. It's a hard, tough life they have, and to think about them not having the opportunity to hear their mother tugged at my heart. Women's Storybook Project is a nonprofit organization that connects children with their incarcerated mothers through the joy of literature. Volunteers record the moms at the prisons while they read a story, giving a message, and then we send that recording and the book to the child so they get to hear their mother read a story.
I really enjoyed this program, so has my son Ellen, and it's just been so great to be able to connect with him through the book, and he really enjoys it.
Holiday time can be a difficult time. We see a lot of emotion,
It's a very special time for them to have that chance to give a special something to their child. I'm Judith. Good to meet you. Alan? Hi, I'm Judith. I have a gift for you. And there should be a CD in there.
Hi, Alan. Hi. I love you, Alan. And I can't wait to see you. Be good, my sweet little buttons.
I know that the children are really touched and feel a closeness to the mom when they get the recording. A child has a chance to hear his mom, to hear that he is loved, that the mom says, I love you, and there's nothing that can replace that.
I have 3 children. The one that I'm reading to, her name is Carly, and she's 8 years old. I haven't seen her since she was about 11 months old. I love her. I don't ever stop loving her no matter what. It makes me feel like I'm not alone and she's not alone and we're connected.
I don't want my babies to feel that they're alone. Not a day goes by that I don't think about them. Everything that I do here is trying to better myself so I can come back home to be with them and stay with them, not ever leave them again.
This has definitely proved to be a win-win-win. As you saw, the little boy in the video had a big smile on his face. When he heard his mother's voice, he just grinned. A mother's voice is so powerful. The mother's self-esteem improves because she knows she's doing something positive for her child. The wardens at the prisons love this program because the behavior at the program improves. A mom participates in our program after having 90 days of good behavior. We've come a long way. The program began in 1 female prison. We're now in 10 female prisons in Texas. On the first visits, we were 5 volunteers traveling to 1 prison. Today, we have over 240 volunteers. The first recordings of moms were on cassettes. We graduated to CDs, and now I'm very excited to say that we offer moms a choice of a CD or having the recording on the internet with a URL. Since the program started, we have recorded over 19,000 mothers. We've mailed over 40,000 new books and recordings. Last year, we mailed packages to children living in 35 states. And even though we're not going to the prisons right now, we still continue to connect children with their incarcerated mothers. As you continue to learn about us, I hope you'll all make a gift today by going to the link below. Today, a gift of $25 could buy books, supplies, and a mailer for a child. Any gift is greatly appreciated. Now, please enjoy this heartfelt interview with Jennifer, the mom, and her daughter Jessalyn, who participated in Storybook Project. After the interview, you'll have a chance to hear from our executive director, Jill Gonzalez.
16 years ago, the Women's Storybook Project created their goal to connect mothers and their children through a book and a recording. Now I caught up with one mother and daughter duo out of Kyle who says this is the reason why today their bond is still so strong.
One of the biggest mistakes I've ever made.
Yes, I remember wanting to always call her.
One wrong decision put Jessica Ochoa behind bars.
My kids didn't visit me. I didn't want them to go there to visit me and see me like that.
For 8 months, Jessica was isolated from her 2 children. Xavier was just 2 years old and Jessalyn was 7 years old.
Yeah, I did miss her like a lot because I was so used to having her around all the time.
And now, even though she's 14 years old, Jessalyn still remembers that pain.
I just know that she went away.
But that distance shortened when she got an unexpected surprise.
We got the mail of the book and the tape.
Thanks to the Women's Storybook Project, Jessalyn and her brother heard their mom's voice again.
One of my favorites, Pinkalicious, and she was reading it.
Judith Dolnig is the founder of the Women's Storybook Project.
Baby, Merry Christmas, Mama loves you.
A mother reads a story while her voice is recorded.
Curious George goes to school.
It was open house at George's school, so the man with the yellow hat had come to school with George.
That recording is then sent to their kids who can follow along at home.
And it's really touching to see 5-7 years later the impact that this simple idea has had.
In Texas, almost 40,000 incarcerated mothers have connected with their kids because of this project.
And for that child to hear the mother's voice is very powerful.
Word after word, these kids fall asleep to their mother's voices and wake up with hope, knowing that someday they'll be home again.
Me and my brother would hold our hands on the book to just make us feel like she was still there.
Amazing story. And the Women's Storybook Project started with just 5 volunteers in 1 prison. It's now in 10 women's prisons across Texas with more than 200 people helping to keep families together. Tori, Larned, KVUE News.
Good afternoon. I'm Jill Gonzalez, the Executive Director of Women's Storybook Project. Jennifer and Jessalyn have been so kind to share that Women's Storybook Project has continued to impact their relationship over the years. We are so thankful for their support and happy for their continued success. It's families like theirs that remind us how important this work is. Before going on, I'd like to thank the rest of our sponsors for the day: Marty and Casey Lober, Core Health, Julia Clark, Dr. Pat and Margene Beckham, Mary Ellen and Roger Borgelt, and Karen Pope. We are so grateful that they have matched our first $25,000 in donations dollar for dollar. You can help take advantage of that match and donate now by following the link on your screen or using text to donate. Text WSP to 44321 to donate now. Normally, volunteers would travel to prisons and record mothers once a month. We can't do that right now because of health concerns, but that doesn't mean our work has stopped. Since the pandemic began, we have shifted our service to work through the U.S. mail. Faithful volunteers have been writing letters to incarcerated mothers regularly since April. Team leaders coordinate the outreach to each mother and offer them the chance to send a message and a book to their child. Most of our participating mothers have written back to participate. The letters are touching. Wardens and officers are doing their best to keep women safe and healthy, but it's a difficult situation. We recently received this letter. Dear Storybook ladies, I've been participating in your program until COVID, of course. I wanted to make sure that someone in your program knew that Jay had passed away. I know her mom expressed trying to reach out to you, but obviously it's a mind-numbing time. So I just wanted to make sure that someone knew. She was my best friend here. It's meant the world to me that we got to be part of your program together. I will never forget the memories we made through this experience. We would get made up, like our kids could see us through the recordings. It became a special occasion to pick up books, and we would cry together afterwards. We cherished you ladies. We loved it. I hope she had picked out one last book for her son. I know he already misses his mommy so much. You ladies are a blessing. Stay safe and come back soon. It's this letter and countless others that keep our volunteers writing. A book and message from a mom, when a visit or recording isn't possible, make all the difference in a child's day, week, or life. Nurturing connections between incarcerated mothers and their children is an important act of hope. As we move into the fall, we'll continue to work through the U.S. Postal Service and utilize the telephone as well. Using 2 copies of our signature book, The Invisible String by Patrice Karst, a mother will be able to read to her children over the phone for one of the storybook sessions kicking off the fall program. During the following sessions, we'll include activities with our letters that encourage bonding between the mother and the child, in addition to the books sent. Post-pandemic, we're planning expansion into 2 more state women's prison units, and we've been invited to participate in Strive, a program for women re-entering society. Today, I ask you to join me in supporting the children in Texas and across the country who are growing up without their moms. Please help us to connect them with their mothers through literature and the power of stories. These messages hold more than words. They hold love and hope. We can only do this work with your help. A gift of any amount is welcome. Sustaining monthly gifts are especially helpful in helping Women's Storybook Project plan for the future. Our Reader Circle members give at $1,000 and above and pledge their support for 3 years. Reader Circle has 3 levels of giving. Our literary partner level at $1,000 yearly is approximately the annual cost of providing 4 children a book and recording from their incarcerated mom each month for a year. A gift at this level is an average of $83 a month. Our bestseller partner level is $2,500 yearly. Bestsellers are successful. Research has found that children with incarcerated mothers are more successful if they have some connection to their parent. A gift of $2,500 each year helps run 2 4-month cycles of Women's Storybook Project, serving 75 children and 35 mothers. A gift at this level is approximately $208 per month. Many of you are part of a company or a foundation or may be in the position to give more. The 3rd level is Pulitzer Partner at $5,000 a year for 3 years. This level allows us to provide our program to 1 female prison unit in Texas for a full year. Though I started by introducing the Reader Circle, we know that you may be drawn to give at a different level. We believe that every gift matters. Please feel free to donate online using the secure link provided in the chat or to write any amount in the pledge form you received via email. Every gift helps continue this story. If you have questions about giving, feel free to enter them in the chat. Thank you so much for your generosity. Now it's time to draw some door prizes. A special thank you to the folks at All About Books for generously donating these beautiful children's books. We have 5 collections of books to give. Let's draw some winners. Lainey Cantor, Penny Snyder, Catherine Proper, Lauren Beebe, and one more, Peggy Russell. Congratulations! We will call or email to follow up and arrange for the delivery of your books. Before we close the program, I'd like to bring on a special guest, SaulPaul. SaulPaul is an amazing musician with a message. His passion for life and art stem from a close relationship with his grandmother, and he has graciously gifted us the song Mama. Thank you, SaulPaul. After Joy Diaz concludes our program, if you'd like to stay on for another 5 minutes, I'd be happy to answer some of the questions in the chat. Enjoy.
What's up, world? It's your boy SaulPaul, musician with the message. I dedicate this special version of my song, Mama, to all of the mothers, mamas, tea ladies, big mamas, everybody that's involved with the Women's Storybook Project of Texas. Check it out. may she rest in peace. See, she be why I be me. Mama raised the monster, left the world with a biz. I grew up broke, and I ain't even know. Cause when we let go, she ain't even show. She kept me focused, head in the textbooks. Now I'm living good, look at them checks, look. She tell me about love, she tell me about life. Show me what was wrong, and tell me what was right. And she let me live my life. When I made mistakes, she still showed me love, so I guess she taught me grace. She taught me about faith and family, and hope should be a place of peace, even in a calamity. She told me straight, this world is insanity, but once I make it out the hood, oh, what a man I'll be. Well, I made it, mama, wish you could see me now. I got the world watching, cause I'm straight gleaming now. I did good, it's cause she did better. This is not a song, it's a love letter, yeah. Mama, mama, I'ma be everything you saw in me. True, you were gone, don't get it confused, this is not a sad song. I've been shining oh so bright, simply cause you raised me right. Yeah, and you gave me so much game. I'm a man, show the whole world say name. P-E-A-R-L-I-E. Her column is columns, may she rest in peace. See, she be why I be me. Mama raised the monster, left the world with a biz. Can we agree? There's nothing like your mother's hug, your mother's rub, your mother's love. When you hungry, was better than mama's grub. Acting mad, moving fast, mama's tough. She pull your shirt tail, yeah, she slow you down, but always lift you up, never hold you down. And when she speak, you always know the sign. And there is she the queen, she forever hold her ground. That's how Pearly was, that's what monsters like. But it's always 2020 when it's hindsight. When she was round, I took a couple granted. Now she know where to be found on the entire planet. But it's all Gucci, I turned that out right. She the reason why I'm shining in this limelight. I did good, it's cause she did better. This is not a song, it's a love letter, yeah. Mama, mama, I'ma be everything you saw in me. True, you were gone, don't get it confused, this is not the same song. I've been shining oh so bright, simply cause you raised me right. Yeah, and you gave me so much game. I'm mad, show the whole world saying that. P-E-A-R-L-I-E. Her column is columns, may she rest in peace. See, she be why I be me. Mama raised the monster, left the world with a biz. So I put the hat on for this because this is the most important part. This is about the money. I like M's, I like alliteration. So right now we're not talking about mamas, we're not talking about mothers, we're talking about money. And we need you to give. I need you to give. Normally I'm asking people to give me money because I like it. But now I'm asking you to give money. I'm giving my funds. I encourage you to do the same. And don't just give a little bit, give a lot. Because everything you give is amplified. It goes a long way. The Women's Storybook Project of Texas, they're tried and true. They've been doing this for years. In 2019 alone, they served 1,600 mothers, 3,000 children. Even during COVID-19, though the world has been put on pause, they have not. They've still been serving these same women, new women. They have been a lifeline. And as soon as this is over, who knows when? I mean, if you know, okay, I'm not gonna get political. So who knows when this will be over? But as soon as it is, Women's Storybook Project of Texas will not only continue to do the work live and back in prisons, but they will expand to new units at that. Because they recognize that the work that they do is vital. It's so important. It changes lives. Maybe you've heard of me before. As mentioned, my name is SaulPaul. I had a life transformation. I went from Saul to Paul. My transformation came when I was in the Texas State Penitentiary. I sat in this penitentiary, convicted of 4 felonies, but I realized that it wasn't my circumstances that got me there. It wasn't that my mom died when I was 3, but she did. It wasn't that my dad left me before I was born, but he did. It wasn't that I grew up in foster care, that I was raised in extreme poverty. It wasn't my community. Those were factors, but really it was my choices. And being around people that impacted my life positively helped me understand that if I could change my choices, I could change my life. I did. I got out of prison. I got accepted to the prestigious University of Texas at Austin, where I graduated with a 4.0. I went from tower to tower, and then I dedicated my life to being a change maker. I chose to be the change. And since then, I've had the opportunity to impact many, many lives and meet many great people and work with many great organizations. Jill is one of those great people. The Women's Storybook Project of Texas is one of those great organizations. So I'm excited to be able to support them through song, through action, and through finance, through talent, time, and treasure in this season. And I encourage you to do the same. But more so right now, I'm encouraging you to support them via treasure. Give money. Don't give a little, give a lot. Continually do good, even when it's hard, and stand strong. Continually be a leader in your community. Thank you for all that y'all have done. I'm talking to the donors, those that have been giving for years. Thank you for what you've done. Thank you for what you will continue to do. I promise it makes a difference. This is good soil. Please sow good seed. I'm SaulPaul.
I cannot thank you enough for tuning in and giving mothers and children the joy of connecting through literature, through the Women's Storybook Project of Texas. Your gifts will provide much more than words. They're a tool for bonding and growth and healing and care. To our sponsors, we cannot thank you enough. A huge thank you to our Luncheon Committee, the table hosts, our board of directors, our volunteers, our staff. The goals of Storybook could not be accomplished without you. If you haven't had a chance to pledge or to give, there's still time. Use the link below or go directly to our website. All funds go directly to supporting operating expenses that support programming, books, recording equipment, and building connections between children and their mothers who are currently incarcerated. If you want to volunteer with Storybook, please visit our website. The address is in the comments section below. We hope you have enjoyed your time with us, and we are forever grateful that you chose to learn about this mission. Until we meet again, goodbye.
Welcome back. I'm happy to answer some of the questions that have come in the chat today. Where does Women's Storybook Project serve? Women's Storybook Project serves in 10 women's prisons in Texas. 2 of the prisons we serve are located in Dayton, Texas, and East Texas. The other 8 prisons are located in Central Texas. 4 of them are located in Gatesville, and the others are located in Marlin, Burnett, Lockhart, and San Saba. That being said, the children we serve are located all over the state of Texas in 118 counties and in 35 states across the United States. Another question that came in is, what have you been doing during COVID-19? We are still serving and working every month. We are working through the United States Post Office, and we are writing to each and every woman in our program. We started serving mothers that were currently in the program, and then we switched to serving our alumni moms. We did a survey to figure out which of our moms that we had served from 2017 to 2019 were still incarcerated, and we have written to each and every one of those mothers. They have responded. We are working with them to serve their children. In the fall, we will start a class of new mothers and begin again through the U.S. mail. What are the ages of the children you serve? Children who are served by Women's Storybook Project can be ages 0 to 14. Sometimes a mother gives birth in prison, and we do serve her. Children can be ages 0 to 14 because sometimes a mom has lost touch with her children. And serving children who are ages 12, 13, and 14 is very important because children need their mothers, especially during those ages. So mothers can apply whether their children are newborn or preteens. What are the plans post-COVID for Women's Storybook Project? This is a great question. So post-COVID, we plan to go back to our regular Saturday service, the second and third Saturdays of every month. We are excited to get back to work in the prisons, and we have plans for expansion. Currently, we are serving 10 women's prisons across the state, and there are 12 women's prisons that would like to be served. We have a waiting list. So we plan expansion into those 2 remaining units. And we also have been invited to participate in the Strive program at the Mountain View unit. Strive is a fantastic program for women who will be re-entering society. It's different than our regular programming and will require volunteers to go more often, but this is a wonderful program to help mothers reintegrate into their families and into society, and it's a very exciting prospect for us. So we have expansion plans for basically 3 new units for as soon as we possibly can. Thank you so much for attending today and for your questions. If you have further questions, please continue to place them in the chat and we will address them. It's been a pleasure. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much.